What up, dude? Welcome to the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, your home for a debate about Detroit Lions news and rumors. It's your man Kurt Steele. On today's show, we look at keys to victory for the Lions this Sunday versus the Indianapolis Colts. But do the channel a quick favor. Like the video, share the video, and comment on the video. If you enjoy the content, please subscribe to the channel. We reached our goal for 2,500 subscribers. We're currently at 2,503. So the next plateau is 3,000 subscribers. So please, if you enjoy the content, subscribe to the channel. Got some big things coming. So stay tuned to what's going to happen with the channel as this continues to grow. If you are new to what we do here on the Boss Up Ball Out podcast, this is how our show works. We look at Detroit Lions news, headlines, or takes. If we agree, we say they are bossed up. If we disagree, we say they are balled on. We give our take or reasons why we agree or disagree. For live shows, I want to hear your input. If you agree, put hashtag bossed up in the chat. If you disagree, hashtag balled on and tell me why. We'll put it on the screen and talk about it together. No hot takes here. We just have natural debate. Your thoughts, our thoughts, and true thoughts and opinions about what's going on with our favorite team, the Detroit Lions. Man, thank you for joining me today on this Friday. Man, we're getting you ready for the games this weekend. Let's see who's in the chat this morning. My man, Michael Hucker's in the building. My guy, man, what's going on, my dude? Miles Mocker coming over from the Lions Talk Live, part of the Do Crew. What's going on, my guy? Hey, so let's kind of look at what we're going to do today, what we're going to be talking about. We're going to talk about keys to victory on offense. Same thing on the defense. And we're going to get you caught up on the latest Detroit Lions news and rumors. But let's see what's going on. My man, Bo Boop's in the building too. What's going on, Bo? My man, fellow veteran. Salute to you, my man. All right, so Lions. Tough game this weekend versus the Indianapolis Colts, man. I will say this. They are not a team to take lightly. So you look at this team and everyone's like, the Lions should win this one, go away. But you never know. You look what happened last night. Hey, any given Sunday, man, or even given Thursday, where you look at a team like the Cleveland Browns. They were at home last night and they played a division rival. They were heavily underdog and they went in there and won. So, shout out to them. So the Colts are a team you cannot look past. They've been a good team, not a great team, but they've been a good team for the last couple of years. So let's see what the keys to victory are on the offensive side of the ball. Okay, for me, you have to stay balanced. Why? The Colts have some things you can take advantage of on their defense. They rank 28th overall in total defense, but almost as equally as bad on both against the pass and the run. The Colts rank 26th in pass defense and 28th in run defense. And they have the 19th ranked scoring defense at 22.7 points per game. The Lions score, at 33 points a game. So the Lions just need to be themselves, right? On offense. Just stay balanced, run the ball, pass the ball, use that running game instead of the play action and just be themselves, stay balanced, just use the weapons that you have. And then another thing is that the fact that Ben Johnson needs to keep his foot on the gas the whole game. What's the saying? All gas, no brakes. Because you look what happened last week to the Jets. The Jets were beating the Colts and they let them back in and lost. So the Lions need to attack the weaknesses of the Colts defense until those clocks hit zero. Dan running up the score. If you got a problem, you can play better, because I think you need to score as much as possible on offense, man, to make sure you keeping teams out of your face on offense, man, on defense, where you're scoring as many points as possible until the clock's at zero. And then my final thing on offense, man, to keep Kwity Paye away from JG. I love Kwity Paye, man. He was my guy, former Michigan Wolverines, but the Lions offensive line has done a great job keeping Jared Goff clean lately. I mean, you look at this. They've only allowed one sack in the last 3 games. One. Kwity Paye got to Aaron Rodgers twice last week, and he leads the Colts with 5.5 sacks. You got DeForest Buckner over there. It's not just Kwity Paye, but Kwity Paye he's their top pass rusher. Young guy, got some good speed. Decker and Sewell will have will need to keep that former Wolverine away from our guy in Jared Goff, man. So definitely we'll look at that. But those are my keys to victory on offensive side of the ball. Let's see what we got going on in the chat this morning. My man Brent DeWitt, salute my guy. He says, "Good morning, bosses. What up, do? Pedal to the metal. Yeah, man. You're gonna have to. This is my thing. I just think you have to beat teams into submission. Where you have to say, make them say uncle. Make them say uncle. Make it where they just don't want to finish the game. Where you just snatch their souls. I mean, people will say, "Oh, you guys are being disrespectful." No, they're just playing football. And that's just it, man. Michael D says, "What up, though? What's going on? What up, though?" Michael Huck says, "Get up early, quickly, and pull the starters so they're fresh as possible for Thanksgiving." Yeah, I think if we can pull them at the end of the third quarter this week, I agree with you, Michael Huck. Whoa. Can you guys not hear me? My mic's on this morning, so no one else is saying that. You guys, please let me know if we can still hear you. Oh, we can. Okay. All right. Who could do that? Maybe you may have your something muted on your end. All right. Okay. All right. Lauren Van Der says, "What up, do?" What's going on, man? All right. JDC sound here. Okay. All right. Thanks. I appreciate it because someone's saying they can't hear me. I want to make sure they be able to hear me, man. All right. All right. So you would think no one blew another team out with some of the talk. Yeah. I think it's the amount of times the Lions are doing that and the way that they're doing that. They did it away at Dallas, but they're doing it at home against the AFC South with the Titans and the Jaguars. I don't get it. And then we talked about it with Coach Dan on Lions Talk Live here a few minutes ago, where we were like, no one was giving a crap about the Lions when they were getting blown out. I mean, what is that crap? I mean, it's football. I mean, there's no crying in football. like the movie, like what's that? Those crying in baseball. There's no crying in football, right? And we've gotten our butt handed to us for decades, and I just think they're not used to the Lions, and the Lions they're not just winning; they're having fun winning. Like all the celebrations and they're playing with a joy that is we haven't seen from a Lions team. I don't think we've ever seen a team play with this much joy. Like they play tough, they're tough, aggressive, and they're in your face, but they play with a level of joy, and they play for each other in a way that most teams, they're not used to seeing that in Detroit. So yeah, 100%. My man Michael Hugg says, yeah, people don't. Yeah, it was us not too long ago. If you want to do something about it, stop us. Yeah, and that's the way that the Lions coaching staff and the Lions team, the players, go about this. They're like, we're just playing football. We're handling our business, and you look at what they're doing and how they're doing it, man. Like, we're not disrespecting anybody. It's just if we're putting up that many points, you have to just stop us. What do you got? Brent DeWitt says no one ever said that they were disrespecting us. Yeah, we were getting our butts kicked all of those years. Football equals most points win. Deal with it. Absolutely. Yeah, Lauren, but yeah, that's our culture. Yeah, it is. Like, and it's been preached by Dan Campbell since day one. Found a weakness and exploit it. And he was like, you want to drown teams. You take them out, you drag them out to the abyss and drown them. And that's just what we want to do. We don't want to give them a chance. We don't want them to even think that they have a possibility of winning the game, especially teams that are definitely a tier or two below us. Like, you don't want them to even have a chance. Think they have a chance of winning the game. And the teams that are good, they're gonna play us tough. But look, like I say, you have to, you gotta grab a hold of them and drag them out into the abyss, like we did with the Texans. They got out there, they were fighting hard, and we just kind of just stayed pat. We never lost our cool, and we just kept playing until the clock hit zero. And when it hit zero, the Lions won and the Texans lost. This is what it is. Yeah, it just is what it is, man. Yeah. Just like Coach Dan said on my side lie, that's my guy right there. Championship game last year provided that you can't let the other team have a chance to come back. Definitely. You just can't. I mean, like I said with the Jets last week and the Colts, I had the Colts on the ropes, and they let them back in that game and lost at home again. So play hard and play to the final whistle, and you don't have to worry about losing a game that you should win. Look what happened to us last year in that San Francisco game. We let up. You know what? And it kind of irritated me last year because people were texting me telling me congratulations and going to Super Bowl. And I'm like, dude, it's too early. It's like, dude, it's too early. And that was a little bit of that, that bad culture that we had before, and it was like waiting for the other shoe to drop. But I don't see that this year. I don't see the other shoe dropping this year. I just see foot on the gas the whole way. Growing up, I always was a casual fan, but since MCDC has taken over, I've become a diehard. Yeah, man, I've been a diehard for years, man. It was kind of hard for me when I was in the military, when I was in earlier in my career, because you didn't have the internet, so it was kind of hard to keep a track of the Lions and what they were doing, especially being overseas sometimes. But I've been a diehard Super Lions fan for most of my life, man, and great to actually go out there and be able to we walk around and talk our trash, man, because we got a product that we can be proud of out there on the field, But let's take a look at what the keys to victory are on the defensive side of the ball. All right, so I talked about this a little bit on Dan's show just a little bit ago. Keep Richardson confused in the pocket. Now, there's two things I'm talking about when I talk about this. The Lions can confuse this young quarterback. First thing is to blitz him just from different angles. He's not good against the blitz whatsoever. He's had limited experience at any level as being a starter, as the two highest levels, limited starters at the pro level and limited starts in college, excuse me. The Jets, but you're going to have to blitz him from different angles and keep him contained in the pocket because what he can do with his legs. He's big, he's powerful, he's hard to get down. So even if you get to him in the pocket, you have to be able to get that big dude down. The Jets gave him some escape routes last week, but you got to keep him in that pocket. And then secondly, you have to give them different looks in the secondary. I talked about the Lions defense getting better, especially at some of the zone covers. We play good in man, and that's good. And Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch are some of the best safeties in the league at baiting quarterbacks into interceptions, because you think it's one look and it ends up being something else. So if you keep him confused in the pocket, right, give him different looks to look at, in the secondary, you think it's one coverage and it's something else, and you can blitz him from different angles so he doesn't know where the pressure is coming from. I think it's a key. That will be a key to success for AG's defense. The second thing is don't let Jonathan Taylor get loose. I know he's missed a few games this season due to injury, but he's played the majority of the recent games. He's still a dangerous back, man. And the Colts have a good offensive line, and so Detroit's front seven will have to maintain their rush lanes, set the edge to keep that running game in check. And the secondary will have to play a key role in run support. That's always a key to Aaron Glenn's defense, man. And lastly is to continue to create turnovers. Detroit is fourth in the league in takeaways, while the Colts are 29th in the league in giveaways. The Lions will need to we need to get some interceptions or some forced fumbles to walk away from Lucas Oil Stadium on Sunday afternoon with the victory. But hey, do me a favor, man. Like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All these things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. Now I'm bringing in my special guest from the day for today's show, man. Y'all know who it is. Surprise, surprise, surprise. This is my man, Coach Dan from Lions Talk Live, Good morning there, Coach. We doing those
Yep.
back-to-backs on Friday like we usually do. You know what I'm saying?
What's happening, man?
Hey, all right. So you got my perspective on some things. I want to get your perspective on some things as well. I'm gonna go backpedal to the offense, keys to victory. I think the Lions need to stay balanced. You know what I'm saying? Run, pass. The Colts defense is almost equally as bad against the pass at a run, 26th against the pass, 28th against the run. Keep the foot on the gas for all 4 quarters, man. No let-ups, no breaks, man. Just all gas. Run the score up. I don't care. And then keep Kwity Paye away from Jared Goff, man. We've kept Jared Goff clean, 1 sack in 3 games. But Kwity Paye had 2 last week on Aaron Rodgers. Our offensive line isn't the Jets' offensive line, of course. But what do you think about what I said the Lions should do to do on offense to be successful on Sunday?
I mean, if you go back to say like 2 games ago, the big comeback against Houston, you could see the offensive line was missing Taylor Decker. The other part, they just did not really handle any of them at the start of the game. Houston's pass rush very well. Now, I don't know if that was fuel for what we saw out of them last week, but they came in and they looked the last week like the best offensive line in the NFL, and it wasn't even close. I've been talking about it for some time. I think you look from the center over, so from Frank the Tank on over to Panay. All 3 of those guys, they are playing at a Pro Bowl level and a real high level. I think you're going to see that continue this week. Keep them clean, open up running holes. And you know what? Like you've already alluded to, Colts have some issues defending the pass and stopping the run. If you want to stop the Detroit Lions, I think the Colts are going to have to overcommit to try to slow them down, which, as we all know, opens up play action pass. And you can see really Jared Goff, the wide receiving core, tight ends, just eat them up alive.
Yeah. And you just look at what the Lions present on offense, man. It's terrifying to a lot of teams in the league right now. A lot of teams they don't want to play the Lions right now. I ran into a Philly guy. I went to a Philly fan the other day in Walmart. He was talking about how the Philly barely beat the Jaguars and how we beat the Jaguars. He was like, we don't want to see you guys, man. He was like, we don't want to see you guys because of the fact that how your offense is just terrorizing people right now. But then, of course, on the defense as well, just real quick, I was talking about, and I kind of, I'll go in a little bit more depth for you on this one. I was saying there's 2 things to keep Richardson kind of confused in the pocket. Blitz him from different angles, and then disguise coverages. And you look at what's going on, and he, with the limited amount of snaps he has as a starter in the pro level, where that could be one of those things where we can do that. Definitely mix the blitzes up and mix up the coverages, disguise looks, especially on that back end with the safeties. Then keep Jonathan Taylor. He's still a good back, you know what I'm saying? Don't sleep on that guy. And then create turnovers. We're 4th in turnovers. They're like I said, they're like 19th or something like that in giveaways. So we turn the ball over a lot, and they give the ball away a lot. So they're 29th in giveaways. I'm sorry. So those are some of my things. What do you think? I'm gonna give you a good whole minute. I'm gonna put you on the screen and let you go, and I'm gonna go highlight my little man right quick for right back. Go ahead, my man.
Okay. So I didn't really get an opportunity to talk about it on my show, but what I think we'll see out of AG this week, because they want to make the Colts as one-dimensional as possible. We all get it. Lions stop the run first, get to the quarterback second. If you remember last year, not this year, they played a lot of horseshoe defense. So what does that mean? Your bigger bodies, your DTIs, try to just collapse the middle. They collapse on the center and force both guards to help out. They bring them in. That also means that your outside wide, your ends, don't really try to rush the quarterback. They try to push the tackles and create a horseshoe around Anthony Richardson. Did the same thing to a number of mobile quarterbacks last year, like Lamar Jackson, etc. And what they're going to try to get, in my anticipation, out of forcing something like this happen, is that you're going to take away the run game from Anthony Richardson. You're also going to take away Taylor's ability to run the game. So now what are you asking Anthony Richardson to do the vast majority of the time is he's just got to throw out of it. The difference is Anthony Richardson, he's looked very good last week, but I think the Lions' man-to-man defense out of the second layer and third layer of the defense are so good and becoming even better. That's asking a lot for him to consistently 80% of the time of the game to hit those throws, and that's my guess you'll see out of Aaron Glenn this weekend.
Yeah, definitely. I I just think that the Lions are going to attack this team with vigor, with vigor. Just confuse the crap out of them and kind of lay the wood to them.
Right.
I don't think he's faced a defense like this year. The people talk about the Jets defense. The Jets defense isn't good this year. They're just not. I mean, I think the best defense they've probably faced is the Texans twice. So, other than that, I don't think they've really played a team like the Lions. I know they haven't played a team with the offensive firepower like the Lions. I will say that.
the other thing I think with the Lions, so you look at their offense. It's I'm older, so I'll say this: it's old school. Mm-hmm. It's 1970s, it's 1980s style offense. The defense is kind of that way too. It's the vast majority of it is man to man. Take away the mid sides. You got to throw down the sidelines to beat it, and you got to beat it over the top. And that's a tough throw for most quarterbacks to make, especially in the day and age, the last, we'll say 20 years, where teams favor zone more than they favor man. Aaron Glenn, who was a phenomenal defensive back, wants teams, quarterbacks who maybe don't have the accuracy they did once upon a time to consistently, time and time again, beat it. Even as bad as our secondary was last year, let's also give them some credit. They got turnovers last year. They gave up big yards, but they also would a couple times a game get a pick, get a tip that leads to a pick. The difference is this year is, you look at the safeties. I know we talked about it earlier. The safeties with Kirby. Kirby can now play man, where my big knock on him his second year, his first year, he was great at single high safety, zone coverage. Was terrible at man-to-man. Now he's pretty good at man-to-man. Not great, but he's pretty good. Brian Branch is good at whatever you ask him to do. Carlton Davis is a man corner who can play some zone. Terry Arnold, you brought him in because he's a strict man-to-man defensive back. And then you look at Meek Robinson. He's pretty good at man-to-man. So quarterbacks all throughout the season have had to throw mostly into tight windows. And you could see every game, whether it's Jordan Love or CJ Stroud or, Timbuktu at quarterback. You hit some, but you also miss on a lot. And it's when those misses are happening that you get in the turnovers.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, do us a favor, like the video, share the video, comment on the video. All the things help us get this content to more Detroit Lions fans like yourself. We're growing here on the Boss Up All Out podcast. We've got some big things coming up, so stay tuned. Got some things coming to you. All right, so last thing we want to talk about is some latest Lions news and rumors. I know you talked about this on your show, Coach Dan. I think Jared Goff was snubbed for Offensive Player of the Week, and he got snubbed for the FedEx Air Player of the Week. The first snub I believe on the NFL. 29 passing, 412 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a perfect passer rating is far more impressive than a guy. I'm not crapping on Taysom Hill, but the guy, he had a fumble and an interception. All that stuff he did, he had 2 turnovers. Jared Goff did not turn the ball over. So I blame the NFL on that one. The second award, I blame on us, the Lions fans. Why do I say that? Because the FedEx Air Player of the Week is voted on by fans on the NFL.com website. And we got to do a better job of supporting our guys. That's just it. Yeah, we got to go out there and vote. I think I voted at least 10 times for each Jared Goff and for Amon-Ra St. Brown, because they were both up for those awards last week. And Taysom Hill won the Ground Player of the Week, and I believe Bo Nix won the Air Player of the Week. But we got to do a better job, fans. And I'm saying us as fans, because I'm not, I got to include myself in that. And then let's look at some injuries, man. Terry Arnold popped up on the injury list yesterday with a groin injury, limited at practice yesterday. Sam Laporta has been a full go all week. And I know we probably want to hold him out, but I think he's going to play this week. I don't see anything that they're saying he's not going to play this week. And I know we want to probably hold him for the divisional game. Right. Coach Dan and I kind of old school, keep him fresh for the Bears, but they may play him. I don't know. The quick turnaround, they may sit him. I don't know if they do or not. And then the last thing, don't expect to see Broderick Martin versus the Colts. And the reason being is that Aaron Glenn spoke about this yesterday in his presser, saying that Martin, while activated from the IR, he has to earn his playing time like everyone else. He said, don't expect him just to come off the IR and go right on the field. He made his first step. He won Scout Team Player of the Week. So my thing is, I think we're going to see the big fella on Thanksgiving against the Bears if he continues to practice well next week. My thing is, I'm not saying that we don't need him at all, but right now there's not a big thing to rush him back into the lineup. So what do you think, man, about Jared Goff getting snubbed for those awards, and then Terry Arnold and Laporta and their practice, and then Broderick Martin being held out this week?
As far as the reward, I think that's more of a byproduct of people getting tired of hearing about the Lions all the time. So you're trying to go somewhere else. Like you said, fans could vote more, try to help out, but is it the big thing to Jared Goff? Probably not. I mean, he's won the award before. He's going to probably win it again at some point. In regards to Laporta and Arnold, to me, it just really comes down to how healthy are they? And that's something you and I and everybody in the comment section just doesn't know. The medical staff, obviously, we trust them exponentially in Detroit. If they say they're going to go, then let them play. But if they think there's any kind of reason they should hold them out for 4 more days, get them ready for the Bears and then the Green Bay Packers a week later, then go ahead and do that. Last with Broderick Martin, if they feel he can contribute, then he'll be active on Sunday. If not, then he'll be one of the inactives, and just keep him growing, keep him developing. Guy's got massive upside, but unfortunately, the dislocated kneecap has probably set him back a little bit this year.
Yeah, definitely. And I like Broderick Martin. You know what I'm saying? He's one of my, he's one of my up and coming guys that I was looking forward to seeing this year, just because you look at the body transformation that he had over during the offseason. We kind of cut some of that baby fat out and became a more chiseled of a mountain of a man, because he's a big guy anyway. So, but he kind of had that Aleem McNeil effect, where he kind of chiseled down and got himself into better shape. But I think we'll see him down the stretch. I mean, he brings a level of physicality, so and he gives those big guys like Reeder and McNeil, he can give them a rest on certain plays. So, because we're going to have those guys fresh down the line for the playoffs.
Right.
So having him back in the lineup was definitely going to help spell those guys in certain situations. So and then you have the young guy with Mekhi Wingo. He's earned his playing time. So I don't, so it is, he just come off, like Aaron Glenn said, you have to earn your keep. And he did that with being the Scout Team Player of the Week, man. I just like the way that this team goes about their business, where, everything's earned, nothing's given to anyone, you know what I'm saying? And that makes, and you look at how hard the starters work, and that makes the guys below them work hard. Like, you look at Khalif Raymond, talk about he wants to be the hardest working player on the team, but the guy in front of him, the captain of his room, Amon-Ra St. Brown, is the hardest working receiver, and he wants to keep up. So, and it makes him work harder to see him work hard, and
right.
Leading by example. So you look at this team, man. I am excited about the future of this team going forward, and it's not just this year. This team is built for the next few years. You look at the youth on this team, and even with some of the guys that are older, they're signed for a few more years. You know what I'm saying? At least 2 to 3 more years. So for a lot of time. So I think we're going to be good for a couple more years there. What they could, I hope it be 50-11. 50-11 is that's a long time. But hey, we're 29 minutes after the hour, man. Y'all know how we do it on the live shows, man. We're like Domino's back in the day, 30 minutes or less. But Coach Dan, man, tell them where they can find you and your content.
You come on over to Lions Talk Live on YouTube. Hey, we're going 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to roughly 8 a.m. Come on over, join the Do Crew, talk about the Lions, and hopefully have a good time.
Yeah, definitely. I was over there this morning, man. It's always a good time hanging out with the Do Crew. And they're now, and a lot of those guys now are part of the Boss Up Ball Out family. Make sure you follow us on your favorite social media platforms. My man, Coach Jones, does a great job over there on his Wolver Lions Sports Talk YouTube channel. I post content from this channel on all of my social media platforms. And make sure you check out my man, LL Cool Torrance, on his platforms as well. You can find myself and Dan over on Lions Nation Unite as well. So make sure you check us out, man, and have a good time. Thank you for joining us today, starting your work, last day of the week at work, out with us right here on the show. If you're having a good day, make sure you spread that joy. You never know when a small piece of encouragement, a small word goes a long way in someone's day. If you're not having a good day, don't steal no one else's joy, man. That just ain't cool. Don't be that guy or girl. Hey, whatever you do in life, you got to step boss up, ball out, and be the best version of you that you can be. For my man, Coach Dan, this is Kurt Steele, and we will holla at you real soon.